Here's what's coming up on Nerd Music Nation.
The mind's funny when it all fall away.
Wage this war that was started within.
You think I'm crazy, look what you made me.
I'm not the type of woman you can change.
We are at Paradise Comics, and it's been a while since I've done a Nerd Music Nation because I got long COVID, so I'm well enough to do this again, and we're back at a comic book store. But Paradise Comics in Toronto is not a normal comic book store. Normal comic book stores have dollar bins. Paradise Comics has $25 bins. That's where we're at. This is the money, guys. We're going to be looking at some really valuable classic comics with owner Pete Dixon later in the show. But first, we're going to talk a hip-hop video I absolutely obsessed over because we nerd over nerd stuff and we nerd over music stuff on Nerd Music Nation, right? This is a hip-hop track that if you're not really big into rap, this might help you get an appreciation for the art form. Because producer out of Halifax, Chan Hayes, assembles an Avengers-worthy roster of rappers. This is a track called Slipset Science. And it is pretty much the science of rap. Like I said, you could use this video to teach hip-hop. It takes us through a party, but it really shows the progressions in a hip-hop collab. First duo is Aquaculture and Neela. Now, going first in these collabs is a challenge because you can't pull out all your tricks, right? You just have to lay down a nice bass line, solid enunciation, solid lyrics, nothing too fancy, right? DJ Uncle Fester is the DJ on this one. I love the name there. But there's a change up, and this part of the song, faster cadences, more syncopations, tight lyrics. You'll notice the details in this video as it goes along. You'll notice Timbuktu's scene has more empty booze bottles around. It's that point of the party compared to King Wu's part. And then the last section, Ambition and Taichichi. You guys know I love Taichichi, but they bring it all home. What have we learned today, students? Boom, mic drop, master class.
Whoa. Whoa, and tune shit like moving ships. The crew, we the pharaohs that you move to, kid. Sacrificial, limp like I'm packing pistols. And stay in your face, fam, for I jack your shit. Whoa, criminal minded, name so good in the streets. I can call and get a brick on consignment. Name so good in the streets. They took the street sign, spray painted my name over it every time. They replaced it. Over time, cold cases. I changed my life before I obtained it. Life 25, asked if I'd like to die. I turned around and asked if he'd like to fly. Yeah, and I mean with the fists too. He written blue like the Detroit Pistons. Keep talking about your jewels and necklace while I'm home working out your routine over breakfast. What?
The mind's funny when it all fall away. So I go after what I'm living for. Never hesitate. Heavy featherweight. All in and get it every day. Space whip, fly, sip, side on the plate. Roll it straight, no chase. Adios, see you later. We don't waste no time with the ball hitting layups. Nature of the game, I'm a true team player like it ain't no thing. Rocking hoops and some makeup.
Here's the truth, which is mainly in my homies' ears. In addition to the homo sapiens who hold me dear. Fest on the cuts, getting crazy in some goalie gear. Mage, insert alien emojis here. Socks on the mic, back where the mind's at. Sip set scientist sliding in a Giants hat. How you spell team? Double check if there's an I in that. Dissect your raps like a rat in a science class.
Look, dog, I don't play. Bullets in the magazine to remind you I'm the source that can make you fade away. What more can I say? Trying to kill my vibe, but my double XL ego standing in the way. Stay GQ'd up even when I'm at war. You thinking complex, I'm thinking Forbes. National Geographic when I take over the world. Just know I don't play, boy, when I take over your girl.
Bad habits, my bars leave rap damage. I'm noticing that you're hiding. I see your fortress abandoned. Your only chance of survival is probably aboard the planet. God damn it. Sip on the ends of landed. I display a masterpiece with just my vomit on the canvas. And the atmosphere is perfect. I probably couldn't have planned this. Celestial being surpassing all your fucking standards. Every breath that I take equivalent to blasting cannons. Yeah.
It's Sip Set, DSP, high mind science blind with the ESP. Yo, matter of fact, the talent supernatural. V1 rap, comrade Fidel Castro. Flow lubricated, smooth like Castro. GTX, Polo Genie like it's hair blow. I'm the capo, blast off holy macro. In the galactic, pull a rabbit out a black hole.
DSP, get it poppin' quick. OGs to the new school of novices. Old heads mad and hit the stage in moccasins. Your whole squad to get flipped like Nautilus, yo. Bang beats on the regular, slang and demeanor, the usual vernacular. My rhetoric is heaven sent, that's probably why I'm getting it and leaving other rappers with the deficit.
Enough for this bullshit. Throw away the matador towel, hold the fort down, catacomb underground. Sip set is the aesthetic, we get ugly and it's beautiful when we go to war because we choose to go. Like condensation, get wet, this here's a nation of vets. No intimidation is best, we move quickly and kill the rest. Fast with knowledge and past the preparation. All that's left is insects on your casket decoration. Yes.
Oh god. This fucking guy. Just imagine the music in your head. Cheers, sippy.
We're stuck in a fight we didn't want. All of us, white, black, brown, anything in between. We all bleed red. We're all just people, man. Yo, I came from the bottom, but I made it right. From the slums to south side with the fakes and low lights. Beans and alcoholics, peril of my life. Smelt that marijuana when I slept at night, so I write to keep the rain at bay. Nana Bijou can see you through the thunder ring. The giant sleeps, then the beats and the drum milling. And I can feel him in my heart every time I sing. I'm so lost, I don't know who I am. I'm Scottish, Italian, Micmac and me, man. Where do I start? Where to begin? Colonialism is me, ancestral sin. I wanna wage this war that was started within. Forgive my mother, you weren't given all the tools to begin. Debate facts, you might get tapped in your chin. I'm a pacifist unless it is a justified win. Heritage of hate, heritage of pain, heritage of bloodshed flowing like the rain. Cultures lost, so what's the game? Languages and ways of life will never be the same. Languages and ways of life will never be the same. Languages and ways of life will never be the same. Cultures lost, so what's the game? Languages and ways of life will never be the same. What do we do now? Where to turn? I think most importantly is what we ever learn. We fight amongst ourselves and watch the witches burn, but never consider the one day it could be our turn. Well, that'll never do. Our story will be true. My hope is someday someone writes a chapter that is new. Cause we're all in the loop. Look, it's just the truth. I know you do not wanna hear the matrix is infused, but it really is. The show is in the biz. The proof is in the pudding. You can take it to the mix. There is no easy fix. We must come together. Build up a community to breathe it through the weather. 1 million cultures, but just one race. We're caught up in the system of division and hate. Earthlings unite. Let's test our fate. We really cannot wait. There's no time to hesitate now. Heritage of hate, heritage of pain, heritage of bloodshed flowing like the rain. Cultures lost, so what's the game? Languages and ways of life will never be the same. Languages and ways of life will never be the same. Languages and ways of life will never be the same. Cultures lost, so what's the game? Languages and ways of life will never be the same. I just want to say thank you to everyone that supported me so far, man. You didn't have to. And I come from nothing. I gotta stop swearing. I come from nothing. And you guys are giving me something. I didn't mean to get emotional at the end of this song, but it happened. I'm gonna rock with it, so. Flavor Records, Ghetto Children. Fly high with the creator, my friends. Till I see you again.
That was Heritage with Plan B Strike, and really great mix of anger, pain, and hope. Yeah, I love the lyrics and the Superman and Punisher shirts in the video. We are here at Paradise Comics talking comics, and I'm going to show you guys some money right now. I'm here with owner Pete Dixon of Paradise Comics, and we have some, one comic is $11,500, right, Pete? Let's start there.
Yes, this is a Hulk 181. Which is known more so because it is the first appearance of Wolverine, one of the most popular characters, period. So this is his first appearance. He fights the Hulk, and it's a pretty solid grade. It's a 9.0 out of 10. So this one's about $11,000.
Now, for people who don't know what the grades mean, take me through it.
Well, obviously, comics are made of paper, so there's a bunch of different grades. There's, comics that are torn to shreds or coverless, and then there's comics that are almost a pristine mint. So this is a grading scale of 1 to 10. So this is a pretty high grade at a 9.0.
Now, if somebody's got a comic at home and they think it's in pretty good shape, what do you look for in terms of the grading, and how much would like an 8.5 181 be compared to a 9?
8.5 on this one would be probably about $8,000. However, if you had a 9.8, it would be about 170,000 Canadian. So, and basically, typically the flaws are usually along the spine.
Corner bends.
That's the first thing you look for. Sometimes it's a little loose on the staples, or there's a couple tears and things like that. So, it's comics are three-dimensional, so you've got to look through the whole thing. The centerfold could be loose or missing, and you can't just grade a book by its cover.
All right, more from Pete in a bit. We're going to get to more music. Another Halifax group, a lot of Halifax in this show. Spirit of Wildfire with a track called Static. Now, Spirit of Wildfire calls themselves funk punk. I'll go with that. It's a good way to describe their playful aggression mix. I don't know how that guy gets his hair. It's very superhero hair right down the middle. But I have a weakness for these goofballs being goofballs videos. It takes me back to the 90s when I was listening to stuff like Green Day's Dookie and I was doing this stuff. Static definitely has a basket case vibe to it, so listen for that. Following that up with a video from Jake Newman called The Girl with the Iron Nose. Now that may sound like a comic book title, but this is the sort of video that indie music is made for. What's going on here? Whatever you want. What's the song about? Whatever you want. This isn't Taylor Swift's liner notes, so you get to decide what the atom bombs halfway through this video are all about. There are no wrong answers here, so here we go. Nerd Music Nation, Spirit of Wildfire, Static, Jake Newman, The Girl with the Iron Nose. Girl with the Iron Nose, coming to you from Paradise Comics in Toronto. More really super valuable classic comics when we come back after this.
You pretended not to know. Well, here she goes and she goes. She's such a hippie with sand in her toes. Oh, and what she's thinking, darling, nobody knows. Check out the girl with the iron nose. Yeah, the girl with the iron nose.
Okay, so we're talking superheroines now, and people think that the recent Thor run that Love and Thunder was based on was the original Jane Foster Thor. It wasn't. It's this What If. You guys know Marvel What Ifs from the show. But so these are less valuable, right, Pete? But they're still, I mean, it's still, well, $1,400, $200. What makes these particular books more valuable than average? It was 60 cents when it came out.
Oh, exactly, yeah. You know, for instance, the Daredevil, this is the first appearance by Elektra. Of Elektra.
Yep.
And it's done by Frank Miller, who's obviously one of the great storytellers and artists of the comic industry. So this is obviously very popular. As I said, first appearances will obviously go more than second appearances and third appearances usually. One of the fun things is they actually spelt Elektra wrong on the cover, which is always fun. And this one is a signature series book. So this was actually signed by Frank Miller.
Okay.
As you can see, his signature is right there.
Can it sometimes devalue the comic to get a signature on it?
Yeah, you know what I always say when someone's asking, does a signature make the comic book worth more or less? You know, just really roughly say half the people think it's worth more and half the people think it's worth less. Don't sell it to the person that thinks it's worth less.
Right. All right, more from Pete in a bit. We're going to get to more music. Got two very different women artists who are going to sing pop for you. We got Melodica and we've got Danny Doucette. Now, Melodica leans more into electropop. Danny Doucette is way more into R&B, but both have the essential elements of girl pop. One thing is I call artist as canvas. The other is a distinct, breathy falsetto that was originally designed to sound not too black back in the day. I'm just going to say it. Yep, music was segregated, and that's where the pop sound comes from. But it's also really great for homebrew recording in your condo during COVID without annoying your neighbors. When you belt, it carries. Trust me, I know. Now, about that artist as canvas thing. This is a big thing in female pop music. You think about those old classic Britney or Christina videos, right? It's all them in some crazy outfit doing crazy dance moves, and this can be dismissed as attention whoring. Don't do that. That's basic. That's basic AF. Don't be basic, okay? It's really self-conscious making. As somebody who's done stuff like that, trust me. The thing about artist as canvas is permissioned for women to be seen and heard at the same time. And that's part of the appeal of cosplay, right? For comic book characters as well. Shocker, I know women want to be seen and heard at the same time and need permission structures. Anyway, I think it's telling that both these tracks are named for things women get stigmatized as. We've got Selfish, we've got Crazy. I see you, girls. I see you. We got Melodica with Crazy. We've got Danny Doucette with Selfish on Nerd Music Nation.
Laughing stacks of people running through as we're passing. No familiar face can comfort this obsession. No empathy for the one I call my own. Now I'm stuck in this place all alone. You wanted more, so I gave you more. You gave me keys, so I opened up the door. See me waiting, not sure what for. There's no escaping now. You think I'm crazy, look what you make me. I'm thinking maybe that I just can't live without you. You say I'm crazy, look what you make me. I'm thinking maybe that I just won't live without you. So don't fail me now. Throw back to a moment of pure intention, similar to artifacts of lost invention. Run away now before it's time to go. Stuck in this place all alone. You wanted all, so I gave it all. And you told me less, so then I took the fall. See me waiting, not sure what for. There's no escaping now. You think I'm crazy, look what you make me. I'm thinking maybe that I just can't live without you. You say I'm crazy, look what you make me. I'm thinking maybe that I just won't live without you. So don't fail me now. You see me coming, see me coming back for more, waiting outside of your door. You don't even know. You think I'm crazy, look what you make me. I'm thinking maybe that I just can't live without you. You say I'm crazy, look what you make me. I'm thinking maybe that I just won't live without you. So don't fail me now. One try. One try. Not the words you wanted to hear, I had to say 'em. It would hurt you just as much for me to stay. Oh no. And it's best for you to leave me. I've been a rebel all my life, believe me. I'm not the type of woman you can No, I couldn't be selfish. Taking all your time. When I know I'm just looking for someone to try. Holding on when I was just having fun, it wasn't fair to you. Even so, you know I'm gonna miss your face. Oh no. But I've been fishing right behind you, and I know it's hard to find truth. You know I've always liked the chase. I wish you well. I know you're good. I hope she's giving you everything I never could. I had to go. You know it's you. I could have never been the one to spend my life with you. No, I couldn't be selfish. No, I couldn't live a lie. No, I couldn't be selfish. Taking all your time. When I know I'm just looking for someone to try.
Back on Nerd Music Nation, Paradise Comics with owner Pete Dixon, and I got some weird comics to show you guys. It's still worth $400 of weird, but check it out, guys. It's a male Captain Marvel. It's the same suit as the movies versus the Sinister Super Skrull. It's all the same, but it's a male Captain Marvel. Now, is a book like this go up in value or down in value when a movie like Captain Marvel woman version comes out?
You know what? It goes up in value a little bit. It definitely, brings attention to all that's Captain Marvel, which, Captain Marvel actually is probably one of the most complicated characters, as there are different Captain Marvels from different companies starting back in the 1940s with Shazam, who is actually Captain Marvel. So to follow the history of Captain Marvel is, I think you need a degree.
And now we got Kurt Swan and Monte Carlo with Point of Privilege, Superman, and the Masters of the Universe. Now, this is one of these books that wasn't worth very much even a few years ago, and it's just shot up in value, right? This is a $700 comic.
Exactly. Well, you know what? All the books, there's a lot of things that are getting recycled. He-Man, Transformers, all kinds of stuff that was big in the 80s is starting to come back.
And this is the first appearance of He-Man and Skeletor. All right, so we're staying weird and awesome, and I have another video for you guys that I just love. Played this again and again and again. This song slaps, okay? This is Feni Fina. She is a Toronto artist, Bombay to Toronto, Mumbai to Toronto, get that right. But this song is called Rukna Nahi, and it'll be in your head forever, but it's a good thing. The languages you'll hear here are Hindi and Marathi. Those are both Indian languages. There are 22 languages with official status in India. And Hindi is the world's fourth most spoken language. So it's Mandarin, Spanish, English, and then Hindi. Now, Marathi is less common, and it's interesting for an Indo-Aryan language. It has 3 grammatical genders, so masculine, feminine, and neuter. But it also has inclusive and exclusive forms of the we pronoun. Now, what does that mean? Yes, we're talking pronouns. It means one version of we that includes the person you're speaking to, one version of we that excludes the person you're speaking to. So obviously we is a big part of this culture, or was at one point. Yes, pronouns aren't hard science and are different around the world, people. We are getting conscious on Nerd Music Nation. Put on your meditation pyramid cap and get ready to jam to Feni Fina, Rukna Nahi. Check it out. Nerd Music Nation from Paradise Comics.
Feni, BOM2YYZ. रुकना नहीं कभी झुकना नहीं झुकना नहीं कभी रुकना नहीं चलते रह सिर्फ बढ़ते रह फैला के पर अपने उड़ते रह किसी की ना सुन तू अपनी ही करते रह तू लेकिन प्यार से बेटा ये बढ़ती सर्दी सबको है चढ़ती लेकिन झेली नहीं जाती सबसे ये गर्दी दो पहलू से बने हैं उसमें 10 मुंह रले है कल की चिंता ज्यादा करते आज में ये कम जी रले है रुकना नहीं कभी झुकना नहीं झुकना नहीं कभी रुकना नहीं तू चलते रह सिर्फ बढ़ते रह फैला के पर अपने उड़ते रह किसी से ना डर तू अपनी ही करते रह तू बढ़ते रह सब हल्के ले तू डट के रह फैला के पर अपने बढ़ते रह खुद से आ रही जैसे लाड आली रे आली रे आली रे लाड आली रे आली रे आली रे लाड घेऊन येते मी भरती देवाची शक्ती नाही मला भीती नको मला त्रास प्राणी आमचे मित्र माता आहे धरती मी काही पण करती स्वतःचीच ऐकती खुद को सलाह देती मैं यू मत भय इमोशंस में जरा ले बैलेंस मोशन में मत भय इमोशंस में जरा ले बैलेंस मोशन में उटांग पटांग हरकत मत कर जिंदगी धर कर बरकत चल कर रुकना नहीं कभी झुकना नहीं झुकना नहीं कभी रुकना नहीं चलते रह सिर्फ बढ़ते रह फैला के पर अपने उड़ते रह गोवा से जलगांव तक Fenifina.
We are at Paradise Comics, and I'm going to show you one more thing before we round up the show. We're going to get a little politically incorrect because comics, classic comics, expensive comics, are not all Marvel and DC. Sometimes you get wonders like the Black Terror from Standard Comics. This is going back to 1949, guys, and probably very few people have heard of this, but Pete, I saw these and went, this is so cool. Not the subject matter, but it's Standard Comics. Why would someone pay $800 for something that's not well known?
It's not well known, and that's why it's probably only $800.
Yeah, okay.
And obviously the print runs are a lot less. You know, you talk about Hulk 181's first Wolverines. There's thousands upon thousands out there. There's only 8 of these that have ever been graded by CGC.
Whoa. Thank you so much for letting us take over, Store, for this Nerd Music Nation takeover. We got one more video for you guys. It is a superhero deconstruction, because we just did a superhero deconstruction, kind of. It's from a band called Neo Nera, and the video is called Savior. Now, it's cool rock vocals, great drum change-ups, but the video juxtaposes superhero and fairy tale tropes, kind of like we juxtapose superhero and Western tropes. And I don't know for sure what this video is trying to say, but I'll give you my interpretation here, because people are like, what is this video trying to say? For me, the story tropes don't line up. It's a video about, male fantasy superheroes, female fantasy like Alice in Wonderland with Little Red Riding Hood, and the superhero doesn't belong in the female character's dark fairy tale. And I'm pulling this from one line in the chorus, I am the savior, but I can't save you. So that's my take on it as we wrap up our time at Paradise Comics. Check it out, Neo Nera, Savior. I'm Liana. This is Nerd Music Nation. It's good to be back, guys. Enjoy.